are aware last week and the week before that a Nigerian soccer star named Rashidi Yekini died in Ibadan in a clinic. Before his death, not much was heard about his condition. He was one of those very, very prolific soccer players who was, as usual in Nigeria, abandoned to his own fate until suddenly we heard of his death. But new facts are emerging now that he may not have died naturally as was initially reported, that he might actually have been killed. So we tried very hard today and got another prolific soccer player of the Green Eagles. He was the captain of the Green Eagles, Chief Olusegun Odegbami, on the phone from Lagos to tell us what he knew about Mr. Rashidi Yekini's condition before what is now imagined as his murder. Hello, Chief Odegbami.
How are you, my brothers?
Very good. You're welcome to SaharaTV New York, and thank you for taking out time to talk to us. This is impromptu. We just wanted to update Nigerians and Africans over there, I mean, all over the world, soccer lovers, to find out how did it happen. When was the last time you heard from Rashidi Yekini before his demise?
Well, that was about 3 weeks ago. What happened actually was that, like every other person around the world, have been hearing all kinds of stories and laws about his life. And from time to time, we try to find out what the real situation really is. Some 6 weeks ago, are you with me?
Yes, I'm with you here.
Rashidi Yekini himself called me up. Rashidi doesn't call people up if you know him.
Yes.
I've known him since 1984. And Rashidi called me up. We've had a relationship through that period that is rather remote from a distance. We
Yes.
speak from time to time, and I invited him to come and join Gateway Football Club, where I was administrator in the year 2005, and he obliged. I know for sure that I'm one of the very few people that he respects and he trusts, and he likes to do one or two things with through the years. So we have been in communication. But at no time has Rashid ever called me on his own to seek anything, to do anything on anything like that. But in the past 6 or 7 weeks, or even slightly more, Rashid called me out from the blues, and he wanted me to do one or two things for him. And I was surprised that he wanted me to do these things. And I asked him why. And when he explained to me, I told him that I was going to come to Ibadan to see him one-on-one. And we arranged it with one of his closest friends, Bayo, that organizes. He actually set up Bayo in this video shop in Ibadan, because that's where he goes to almost every day. When he finishes his training in the morning, which is something he loves to do, he goes to Bayo's place and he watches video, all these Yoruba movies, African movies. He goes there and he watches his videos. He goes to Sabo to eat. And in the evening, he gets a match at Olubadan Stadium. He goes to watch a match in Olubadan Stadium. Rashid has always been like that, a recluse, doing things on his own. So he calls me from out of the blues and he tells me he wants me to do certain things. I arrange that we should meet up with him. I go to Ibadan and we arrange to meet at the stadium. This is 6 weeks ago. And I go to the stadium, I find him there, and I get out of my own car, ask my driver to follow us. I go into Rashidi's car, and I tell him to take us to wherever he wants. He suggests that we should go to Onirege's house, which was very close to Adama Stadium. So we go there. We get there, and I see that the place was under renovation. There was nobody there. So we go out, and we sit outdoors under one of their canopies, and we order for 2 Coca-Colas. He drinking one, I drinking the other, and we sit. And for over 1 hour, Rashidi and I had a conversation like we have never had before. Rashidi was sound, hale, and hearty. There was nothing like madness about him. Of course, I've always known that because Shola, my managing director, who works with me in the same office, goes to Ibadan every weekend, and we have conversations about Rashidi. There's nothing wrong with Rashidi. And from my conversations with him, I found out that Rashidi has gone through a lot on his own, a lot. One of which is that he lost a lot of money in a business transaction with a foreign exchange dealer in Sabo. And that guy lost his life. He was shot by robbers or something like that. And so Rashidi lost a lot of money. This years ago, not now. This is over 2 years ago. Rashidi lost a lot of his money. He doesn't trust people to go into business with them. That I know of Rashidi since I met him in 1985. He doesn't trust people.
So let's just put this in.
So what I'm saying
yes.
in a nutshell, is that the Rashidi that I saw was parent and there was no problem with him. He wanted me to now help him do certain things. And I told him that, look, I would rather teach you to fish rather than to do this. And we agreed. We had a wonderful conversation. And I said, look, but you must not let me down. I am not going to disappoint you by doing this and this and that. But we are going to go out and give you what you want, which is to play football with. To play football. But this time you are going to play it with kids. And you are going to lose. You are going to make back your money. Because people out there want you to come and be seen and do things. And we agreed. And after that, we've had regular conversation on phone. I actually sent my staff, my managing director, to take certain things to him which he wanted. They met up with him in that video shop. He collected his things, thanking me. And suddenly I had to go abroad for the World Public Health Conference. And I went. By the time I came back and was trying his number, the lines were dead. And I called Bayo up. Bayo, that's his friend. And Bayo tells me that he's been looking for Rashidi too. Rashidi's lines are dead. That he went to the house, the gate was locked. So we don't know what is happening to Rashidi now. And suddenly last weekend we just heard that Rashidi was dead. What happened? And that's where we started to hear all these stories that now all of us are now suspicious about. We have confirmed that certain people came to his house after his training that evening, including one of his very, very close family members, I think his mother, and they took him away somewhere. They met with him outside. He opened his gate. He drove his car, opened his gate, and they came. And the neighbors were seeing him. His house is, when you go to that, you will understand. Neighbors who were looking down saw him coming, and he opened his gate, and they were in the car waiting. And he saw his mom. He came down, and suddenly they now came and took him away. He didn't go away on his own. They took him away because they saw him. They hit certain things on him and all that. Those are the stories. And the neighbors saw them. So we are sure that he was abducted. We were sure that nobody could get in touch with him for over 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks. And by the time they now brought him back, they brought him back dead. Nobody has told us that they were the ones that took him. Nobody has told us where they took him to. Nobody told us what happened there. If they took him to a hospital, he was sick. Why at the hospital? Let us see the doctor.
So Chief Odegbami, has anybody found out from the hospital where he allegedly died, when he was brought there, and with what ailment or injuries was he brought before he died?
That's what we are saying.
Yes.
Nobody is the people that came to take him, that they are mentioning names now. Now, finally, they are mentioning names. The people that came to take him are not even talking about taking him. I read in the papers today, they said his Oba said he visited him 2 weeks ago, and Rashidi himself told him that there was nothing wrong with him. That he said, okay, look at my thing. And the mother also said she went there. They told her that something was wrong. She went there, and she saw that there was nothing wrong with him. Why are they not now saying that there should be an investigation? Who took him to a hospital? If it's a hospital, there must be a hospital somewhere.
Yeah.
It is in Ibadan. Where is it? Let's go to the hospital. The doctor that treated him for over 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks, let's speak with him. What was wrong? Let us hear. Let's have a death certificate saying that this is what happened. Nothing like that.
So let's pull back a little bit.
Nobody can account for it.
Yes, let's pull back a little. Let's pull back a little bit, Chief Odegbami. Doesn't this have something to do with the way Nigeria treats its heroes? I mean, for someone of his status to be in a condition or situation where he had to be struggling on his own to even recover from a business loss, there is no structure in place to take care of people like that. Even as we speak now, we don't even have law enforcement looking into the death of a national hero like Rashidi Yekini. Why is that?
I am surprised too. I'm surprised, even with all these mysterious circumstances surrounding his death, that his own family are not even trying to find out what killed him. That his own family are not trying to find out where he was taken. His own family are not trying to find out what happened. I'm just surprised. And the police are not even trying. I don't know if they are trying, but there's no evidence that they are trying. Nobody is trying to do anything to find out.
But have you tried as a close friend of his to contact the police, say the Inspector General of Police, to say, look, start an investigation about, have you written a petition? Because you apparently command a lot of respect within the Nigerian society, as we know. Have you done anything officially on your own to...
Well, personally, what I've done is to draw attention to all of these things. I have, since yesterday, for example, because I needed to get facts. And finally, I went on air yesterday, and that's why there's so much noise all over the place. Questions should be asked. We need to have answers. This is a national icon. He's an African football legend. He's our national hero. It's not just somebody who just come and die and they just sweep the thing under the carpet and nobody's saying that this is what killed him. Nobody has told us what killed Rashidi. The family have not done. It's so suspicious. And that's why I'm talking to you.
Yes. Also, I wanted to ask you because you yourself, Segun Odegbami, must have gone through some of this, rejection, ridicule as a national icon or hero. Can you tell a little bit about your experience and maybe tell our viewers how this might have played into getting Rashidi Yekini to the point where he just was murdered, apparently, by a few people, unknown people at this point? What has been your experience yourself? Because there are a lot of people in this position as we speak today.
Well, let me tell you. I cannot tell Nigerians the number of our sports heroes that constantly call me, keep in touch with me, asking for this or that favor, telling me I am sick, I am this, I need this to do. I cannot tell you. Even today, I have had at least one national hero who called me up to say, look, I need to go to India because I have certain things. I want you to help me to do this, to that. It is constant. They are all over the country. And somehow they see me because I have remained at least I have remained in the media. I constantly draw attention to myself. Through my articles, I appear on TV, I say this, I say that. So they think that I have the answers. They think that I have the ear of government. They think that I command so much respect that I can do a lot of things. It is constant. In my house, 20-something years ago, I don't know how long, I kept Harrison Jala and Austin Popo, and for 2 years, they were living in my house, free of charge, to set up an organization that can take care of the welfare of players. Many years ago, with Justice Omudiwe, we set up a body called the International Footballers Association of Nigeria, just to take care of the welfare of players. But you never get support from anywhere. The people that you support you, the people who are in sports administration, in football administration, which is our own line, in the Olympic movement, most of them don't understand what we are talking about. Because they get there as a result, not just because they are past participants in it, they understand the sensitivities, they know where the shoe pinches. They don't know all of that. They don't even know the genesis of the problems and challenges that we face. They don't feel it. So they go ahead and continue to do what they are doing, running their football or their sport as they make it, without knowing that there is a whole army, a whole battalion of people that have served this country, spent the most important, the most useful part of their life, their youth, committed to this country, sacrificing everything else they should have learned. We are not blaming anyone for it. We should also blame ourselves. That we just did our sports and we sacrificed our education. We sacrificed other entrepreneurial skills. We sacrificed empowering ourselves with other things that we could do beyond football. But that was our passion. That was nationalism. That was patriotism. That was all. We just wanted to serve. And we did. This country should not forget her heroes. One's family was ridiculed less than a year ago when for the first time since Muda Lawal died all these years, the first soccer ambassador of this country that had 2 national honors, the first time in all of these years that the Nigerian football people would try to do something for the Muda Lawal family. They ridiculed them so much that when I went to London and saw them, and I heard the stories, I had to stop them because that would have truly embarrassed Nigeria to say. This, in the past 1 year, what they did without them back and tell them they wanted to immortalize Muda Lawal, they wanted to, and they abandoned the family in Abuja.
But let's look at it from this point, Chief Odegbami. When Rashidi Yekini died, I mean, tons of and acres of praises, press releases. Everybody said he was the best. Even the president of Nigeria wrote a eulogy. So you mean nothing was just this eulogy is just political? After the death and burial, nothing happens. Even in his own case, the photographs of him that we saw, the way he was displayed during his burial, it was as if somebody borrowed money to pay even people who dug the grave for him.
Well, I don't know those details. So I cannot pass any comment on those details. I'm very happy that the president of our country spoke about Rashidi and paid tribute to Rashidi. I'm very happy that several governors have spoken about him. I was with the governor of Niger State 4 days ago. In their expo meeting, I sat in there with the governor and he paid tribute to Rashidi. He said that Rashidi was born in Niger State and the state was going to do this and do that. And during the expo meeting, I listened to it. I was very, very happy that Rashidi could attract that kind of attention. But it goes beyond that. We will do some things beyond that. I'm not blaming anybody for Rashidi's plight because Rashidi was a recluse. Rashidi was into himself, but he's just one person. But when the media now said that these are these things are happening to Rashidi, we as a country should have risen up to try to do something to help him. He lost a lot of money. He went into a depression. Yeah, those are the things that we know. But he got out of it. This was over 3 years ago. He got out of it. Now he needed help. Now we want to help him. Now some people go and then they just go and create a scenario that kills him. I agree with you. We need to take care of our heroes. Even those of us who are practitioners in the industry, need to wake up and do certain things for ourselves.
Exactly, because that's the next thing I wanted to ask. This is what I wanted to ask, that the soccer industry is a multi-million or multi-billion-dollar industry. There are soccer players who are making billions and of naira and millions of dollars every year. And it is people like Rashidi Yekini and people like yourself that open the international, the global recognition for Nigerian soccer.
Don't count me in because I didn't make any money. Don't count me in. I didn't go professional. I didn't make any money.
Well, you are making your money now, but
I'm just a struggler.
You are not doing too badly,
I'm trying to survive from day to day.
Yeah. Anyway, but what happened to the big soccer players, the international stars, these big club players? How come they can pull together resources to help people like Yekini? Are you talking to them?
It is not easy. It is not easy, I can tell you. We have tried it over time to set up an organization where we take care of our own interests, where we discuss our own welfare and so on. It has not worked in the past. It has not. Because it is very, very challenging. The plight of all these informal international is so bad that when you call a meeting, you actually have to look for funds to pay for everybody. I did it many years ago. I called a conference of all international players in Lagos. And I had to look for money to pay for every single person that came. How they will fly in, where they will stay, where they will do this. I did that. And it is that I have the recordings of that conference. Kakeye was there. Chukuma was there on it. Everybody who was somebody retained just so that we can set up an organization and start to take care of our own. But beyond that, we couldn't do it again. We didn't have the resources to do it. The public is not interested in former players. When you bring up an issue, so was an international, they are not interested. They are interested in those that are there. Those people will also find out that in the next 2 or 3 years, their shelf life would have expired.
No. As a matter of fact, it is my next question, Chief. It's my next question, because each time we hear of one big international player is receiving thousands of dollars a week or pounds a week, and then 3 years after they retire, maybe by injury or they have some kind of issue, or they just kind of pan out, we discover that they don't even have the money anymore. Is this all a fluke? The whole international wealth around being an international soccer star receiving huge amount of money. Is it a fluke? Because all of them that have come back to Nigeria, they are all struggling and hustling.
Let me tell you what happens.
Yes.
Let me tell you what happens. While they are playing, they make a lot of money. As they are making it, a lot of it is going, they are spending it. And while they are playing, they are not trained for anything else beyond the football. They don't think of life beyond football, because for you to succeed at a young age, you will start to commit your life and your everything to the game. And you play it till you're about 32, 33. And when you get to that age and you retire, you haven't trained yourself for anything beyond football. Zinedine Zidane, one of the greatest players that ever lived, that was what he said. He said suddenly when he retired, he just found out that there was nothing for him to do. There was nothing for him to do. The game was gone. He didn't train to be anything. He didn't have an education to make him go into something. Now he had money that was disappearing by the day, because you still need to keep a certain lifestyle, and the money was going away. You see?
Wow.
So it is like that for a lot of players. This money disappears so fast. You think you have so much of it, but it disappears so fast if there's nothing else to fall back on. That's why I have been stressing that, look, education is so important. We watched Shaquille O'Neal the other night. He's retiring from the game. He just got his PhD. And when I listened to what he had to say on CNN, he said education was so important for him. It was so important. After all he reached, he needed an education to still come and support and reinforce the rest of his life. But here, where we do not have those opportunities to get an education and add that to our football or to any other sport that we do, you find out that you finish your football career. The money that you thought you had so much of, you have not invested well in, because you are not even trained as a businessman to start with. And you depend on others, as Rashidi did, a few people, and then you go into business and they disappoint you. And suddenly your money is gone. And you find yourself that you have to live the rest of your life without any education, without much training in anything, and you just join this rat race. And it is difficult. It is difficult. And it happens not just in Nigeria, from country to country to country. So many developed societies have now decided that they would have provision for those that have served their country. They will make provision for them. And they do now, which is what we need to do. If the government will not do it for us, we are not even saying they should support us that want to do something to create some kind of a welfare package that will take care of our heroes after they have finished their careers and they go into their middle age and old age, so that they are comfortable. We are not saying that it should be a gift or anything. It's a provision that will help them to sustain, to go into that maybe it's training of some sort or something. There are all kinds of ideas. You yourself said it, that the football world, the sports world, is a huge global industry and it is still growing. We
Absolutely.
can find areas within it, and it is fast, where we can now go and locate ourselves and make little money. through the years, I have been pioneering one aspect of sports or the other, the business of one aspect of sports or the other. I have almost traversed the whole spectrum, just being an example for other people. Some people said I should set up an alumni association for people that we have trained to do this, to do this, to do that. The things that I have gone into. I have not been financially successful myself, but I have done so many things. I have written books, I have published, I have been a journalist, I have been in the media, I've been in television, in radio, I run programs, I've set up studios and all that. I've been in merchandising, I've been in production, I've been in so many things. Just by showing people the possibilities that exist within the sports economy so that we can go into. But when you don't have a basic education, it is so tough to go into it. So in Nigeria, we need government to support us. We agree that we don't have that proper structure yet. That's what we want to do now. I was in conversation with Patrick Agency the other day. I spoke with Kanu Wanko also 2 days ago. I was in his place. And we are now thinking seriously. With this Rashidi Yekini thing, we don't want it to happen to anybody.
Another person, yes.
We want to now go properly and set up a body and put responsible people in charge. And now use the sentinels that are around now to get government and corporate Nigeria to come and support us so that they can give us the foundation upon which we can build so that we can sustain our lives beyond sports. It's not just for football. It is the same in other sports, it's even worse. Because in football, you even know the names, you can recollect them. In table tennis, in basketball, in all those things.
Yeah, I mean, you remember we remember covering Ali, Bash Ali, stranded in Libya.
In Libya.
Yeah.
In Libya, nobody could do a thing about it.
Yeah.
And it's like that. Who is talking about Hokanji Basi? Who is talking about the Tiger?
Wow.
Who is talking even about our own Akim Olajuwon? Who is talking about so many people?
Well, it's interesting you mentioned Akim Olajuwon. Is Akim Olajuwon back in Nigeria?
He's not back.
Yes.
The guy does not want to come back. The experiences he had when he came in I've forgotten the year now, and we were with him and so on, he imported so many things to come and support basketball development in Nigeria. Those goods remain in the port for 2 years.
Wow, the goods that Akim Olajuwon brought back to Nigeria to develop basketball remain at the port uncleared.
Yes. Opened an office in Lagos, brought in a lot of goods to distribute to states, to clubs, to do this, to do that. Those goods remained. The money they asked him to come and pay for goods he was going to give away free of charge. The guy said, no way. Went back to America. They sent some of the goods. Some of them were there for 2 years. And all wasted, and he promised he would never come back to this country.
Wow.
And he never came back. He has not come back since then.
Wow.
This country frustrated him.
Well, the country frustrates everybody. The country frustrates everybody.
The long tennis player came, he was frustrated.
Yeah.
The moment he came, he was frustrated. Sadiq Abdullahi has been coming every year, he's been frustrated. That's how they frustrate. This country just frustrates. Because we have people in authority who are not sensitive to the needs, to the wants of our sports people.
Wow. Well, Chief, I mean, I think it applies, honestly, it applies to every sector. It applies to every sector. We've been discussing education today. We've been discussing health. We discuss everything. Everybody, professionals, are frustrated along every line in Nigeria. I mean, you heard in Lagos, they fired 788 doctors in 1 day. And Lagos has only 1,000 doctors or thereabout. So you can imagine that Nigeria has only 22,000 doctors in a country of 160 million, and half of them have left the country in frustration. The ones that are here, like Akim Olajuwon, would never go back because they've had terrible experiences. Let me ask you one last question. Because when I was talking to you earlier, you said you were going to play lawn tennis. Do you still play soccer?
No, I can't. My knees are gone.
Oh, yeah. I think
I've developed serious arthritis in both knees because of the football I played in my youthful days. And at the point, I was actually going to take the federal government to court so that they take my responsibility over not just my knees, but also my eyes and bits and pieces that I now suffer without realizing that suffer all of these things when I was representing my country.
Wow.
In those days, I didn't realize that I would spend my old age nursing all the injuries that I sustained while I was representing my country in those days.
Wow. When was the last time you had an international showing for Nigeria? When was the last time you had an international showing for Nigeria?
An international what?
What was the last match for Nigeria? Which?
Oh, that was in 1984. When we played the finals of the African Club Championship.
Wow.
I had my injury shortly before then. I had to manage to play that match, and we lost. And in frustration, I gave it up. That was in 1984. That's like
wow.
2 centuries ago.
Wow. Well, Chief Odegbami, Segun Odegbami, most prolific international player for the Green Eagles in those days, been with us talking about the plight of Nigerian players, both local and international heroes, national icons who have been abandoned, rejected, and sometimes ridiculed. And he's telling us for the first time today that Rashidi Yekini, the African Player of the Year, for 2 terms, actually might have been killed, allegedly by people unknown at this point who abducted him from his home. And a few weeks later, we heard that he died. Thank you so much for coming on our show, Chief Odegbami, and we hope that we'll be in touch in the future. Let us know if anything is being done to put in place some kind of insurance for players, both the ones that are active now and the ones that are retired. Thank you so much for taking our time to talk to Sahara TV.
Thank you very much for your interest. Thank you.